I'm gonna be so violently real with you. I don't care who I offend. If you give an ugly guy a chance, they will fuck you over. Okay? In my experience, every ugly guy that has always wanted me first, and I've been like, oh, they seem so sweet. Either they start love bombing, or they're getting you gifts, or whatever it is, they'll always be the ones that are into you first, and you won't be into it. And then suddenly, you're feeling into it because you're thinking, maybe this guy will treat me right, I'll give them a chance. They treat you worse than the hot guys. They see this beautiful girl in front of them, and their insecurities just are ripping through it. So they're so insecure that they're going to talk to a million other girls seeking validation because they don't think they deserve you. So that turns into like them cheating, because honestly all these girls are looking at them with such a beautiful girl, and that makes their value go up in another girl's eyes, which is so toxic. So now you have this guy that's not good looking, that's shit, and all these girls want him because he's posting with a girl that's drop dead gorgeous. I don't know. Don't give an ugly guy a chance. If you're gonna get your heart broken, get it broken by a hot guy, not an ugly guy, because they're gonna treat you worse in the long run.
When she says ugly guys, what she's really referring to is her beta orbiters, because those are the only guys doing the stuff that she was referring to, because simping is the only way they know how to get women's attention. And while she's not entirely incorrect about their insecurities, I think it's more due to the lack of self-confidence that they have for themselves, which can come out as them thinking not being worthy of you. And when they only got you through gifts or love bombing, it signals to them, whether they recognize it consciously or subconsciously, that their worth to you is only through gifts or whatever they were doing that got you to finally say yes, not actually them. Because we all know deep down, if you're that guy, you're not waiting no turn or have to jump through all these hoops. The second half of the video, what she was referring to is social proof. And it is true what she's saying, that her presence around these ugly guys raises their status and they will be getting more attention. In this case, I think it says more about her, because these guys don't typically cheat, and it probably means you weren't a very good person to be around. And once the physical lust wore off, they now have the social proof status and confidence that you added to go cheat and do the same thing that these hot guys do. What she's really upset about is that these are the guys that weren't supposed to do that and were supposed to be the safe option. So she doesn't have to try and coast on her looks and simping. And that's why she's saying, well, just date the hot guys, because the ugly guys are going to do the same thing anyways, without ever taking a look at what she might be doing. Because if every guy is doing the exact same thing, then maybe more so it's coming down to what you're doing or not doing that's giving you the same outcome.
Out of the divorce, I got $600,000. Yes.
Why?
That was part of our settlement. So I could have taken more, but I didn't, which I'm kind of now regretting a little.
Wait, why could you have taken more and why didn't you?
Well, I could have, because if I were doing like a divorce with like 50-50 split, I would have gotten.
Could you have done 50-50 split?
I could have.
So this was a pretty well-to-do person.
Yes. So I don't know exactly how much I would have. No, he tried to get me to sign a prenup, and then I didn't sign a prenup, and then he tried to get me to sign a postnup, and I didn't sign a postnup.
Postnup.
Yes. And so, yeah, we decided in the settlement agreement that I would get $600,000 because I didn't want to take.
Why the f do I have so much debt here to go through on your end? Where did the $600,000 go? When did you get the $600,000?
2 years ago.
Okay, where the f is it?
It's gone. Completely gone.
Into where?
Well, I bought a house. And
with the $600,000?
With the $600,000.
Okay, so it's not gone.
It's not gone. Right.
It's tied up?
So I bought a house that was $330,000 and I bought it like outright. So like it's paid in full. So I don't have.
So it goes half the cash.
Yes. But then I bought it sight unseen. And so when we entered the home.
Oh no.
Yeah, I saw the outside because I drove by it. But
good, you drove by it.
Yeah. When we entered the home though, it was in shambles. So we had to renovate it completely, like gut job. So we saved some money by tearing everything down ourselves, but the renovation was like $100,000.
What this clip perfectly shows is how women's decision and choice making when it comes to men or things are almost always the same. Whenever they get some huge advantage, they'll more often likely squander it, like this girl did, who basically got a free $600K as like a severance package for not completely divorce raping this guy. And what did she do with it? Wasted it on a broken down house that probably looked good on the outside, but it gave her some happy feelings, so she purchased it without a second thought, but now has to spend all this extra time and money doing renos, where instead of buying a house through feelings, she got a home inspector. And this is more or less how they choose men. They'll pick a guy based on feelings or the tingle, not do any vetting themselves or get any home inspector, which in this case could be any male figure that they have in their lives. And before they know it, they're strapped down with a guy, typically now with a kid over marriage, that needs a lot of home renovations. And instead of 600K they wasted their youth, beauty, and fertility on something no matter how many home renovations you put into it is never going to appreciate. And now you wasted your biggest asset, and unlike money, it's never coming back. So you can see a lot of parallels on what women purchase when left to their own devices, and are wasted on things that may look nice from the outside, but really are a bad life choice investment. And whether that's houses or men, it's one and the same. And this woman perfectly illustrates that point by getting lucky with some extremely large settlement, but then wasting it on some garbage asset because it made her feel good. And honestly what most modern women hope to achieve by divorcing some rich guy, taking his money, and then buying a house. So unless you want to be this guy, divorced, she takes a very large and generous chunk of your money and then wastes it on garbage, and then complains that she didn't get enough. The best thing you can do is not get married to them. Otherwise, you may be the next person they're talking about on whatever podcast they're on.
Say bye. Wave bye.
I'm not sure the relation this guy has with this woman, but whether he's her boyfriend or some beta simp waiting for his turn, the level of symmetry is off the charts, and stuff like this is exactly why guys are in the position they are in. I don't know how any guy that's with her or wants to be with her can send her off half naked so she can go do a bunch of drugs and alcohol and get trains run through her while you're doing TikToks at cleaning her apartment. In what world is that a W for you? You're not a good guy by doing this. You're being the reason why women are the way they are today, because they know they can go hoe out and then have a dummy like you waiting for them cleaning their mess. It's actually embarrassing. And then these are the same guys paying for the Fresh and Fit or the Richard Cooper courses, wondering what's going wrong, when it's just as simple as you're being a beta. And no one likes betas, not men, women, or children. And what guys can actually do to help them is literally almost anything else. Cleaning her apartment doesn't win you brownie points or get you one step closer. If anything, it only gets you further away. Just sitting home, looking at your wall would have been a better use of your time. And guys like this really need to start doing things for themselves. And that could be working more hours at your job, starting a side hustle, going to the gym, whatever. Something that benefits you, because this stuff is simply to the highest degree, and you're just wasting your own life for someone who couldn't give less of a crap. And maybe you don't get the girl the other way, but I know there's a 100% chance you won't get her this way. And at least this way you pursued your life the way you wanted to, and at least that's something.
Instead of talking to each other, you'll turn to me and you'll tell me to not worry about it, to calm down, it's not a big deal. And it's like, it is a big deal to me. Your comments hit deep, because they're not just your comments, they're comments from a lot of other people as well. And it's a constant reminder that it doesn't matter what I do, I'm having to fight for my humanity as a brown person to get you to accept that I'm more than just the color of my skin. I am a person, I have an emotion, I have emotions, I have a personality, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, but you reduce me to the color of my skin, and that's all you expect from me. And when you say things like, I only date white girls, what you're saying is every other person of every other race has features that are the same, that I don't find attractive, and you don't give them their humanity. You don't see them as humans with personalities, things that you can love about them. You see them as what they look like, and that is it, and you're missing out. You're missing out.
The real ironic thing is this girl is doing the exact same thing. Do you think all those dudes you turned down that were under 6 feet didn't feel the exact same thing? I'm sure those dudes too were more than just their height. Yet you had no problem boiling it down to one of their physical features. I think the real issue here is that she can't land her white Chad, so she just assumes racism, where other women would lean on the crutch of there's just no good men, when that's just not true at all. There's plenty of them all around. They just refuse to see and acknowledge them, and end up doing what this woman's doing and just projecting. Because I'm sure this woman's turned down plenty of dudes under 6 feet, and wouldn't that not be giving them their humanity? Not seeing them as humans or with personalities or something you can love about them? You're just seeing them as what they look like. So is it just alright when you do it? Women are some of the biggest hypocrites when it comes to this. They love to do crime crying videos in the car when guys turn them down for something like their age or weight. But when it happens the other way around, it's like, oh my god. If you're going to turn people down for their physical characteristics, then expect the same. And in this case, I highly doubt it's because you're brown. It's probably more so that you're aiming way too high, way too desperate, and getting up there in age. And the brown thing's probably so far back on that list that it's almost irrelevant. But you're just looking for a convenient excuse on why these guys aren't dating you, when really it's just as simple as the reasons I listed. So instead of complaining that all these guys are racist, maybe you should go back through your DMs and find yourself some short kings that you disqualified on account of their height and see what you're missing out on. But we all know that's never going to happen. The 6'4" white Chad or nothing.
I'm 53. It has been several years. Where are all the good men? I'm tired of being alone. I want to share my life with someone. I am just freaking tired. I want to be in love. I want to share my life with someone. I want to feel the joys. I want to have my hands held. I want to be held. I want to kiss. I want to support. I want to make coffee with that person. I want my person. I want my person. Why is it so hard to find your person? I'm tired.
So what we have here is a woman's cultivation of all her choices, and is now wondering where all the good men are. And the good men she's speaking of, we know where they are. They're with women half her age, and whether she chose to squander that time by staying on the carousel or boss babying it, or maybe this was just a great divorce, the end result is still the same. These quote-unquote good men she's looking for don't want a 53-year-old. And what makes it hard to have sympathy for these women is regardless of how she did it, I'm sure there's still plenty of dudes lined up in her DMs that would give her all that lovey-dovey stuff that she's asking for, but because they aren't the chads that she's used to, they don't count and all the good men are gone. This is a great example of women just not coming to the reality of their situation, and no matter how old or the way they look, they think they deserve the best at all times. And until these women learn that their time frame is rather short, that if they don't get to picking quickly or decide to step out years later, their choices later are going to be severely restricted, and they're going to get exactly what they deserve from the choices they made, and will end up like this woman doing TikToks in a car about how sad, alone, and miserable she is, all because she thinks she's too good to date a guy who's 5'4". So it makes it hard to feel sad for these people, because even now she still has choices, and if this is what she's choosing, then have fun being alone, miserable, and eaten by cats.
But my question is, why do we really need one?
I've had a pretty large company even before I met you. So if we get married and then you decide to divorce me next year, then you leave with half of it, that's not fair.
But why are you already thinking about that?
Babe, it's something that I have to think about. I don't know why Danny's so surprised. A prenup's obviously something that we need to have in place. I built a business long before she even came into the picture, and I have to protect that. Like, you want to get married? I'm, trying to work with you.
I don't want to be emotional. I'm just not sure if you're doing this because you don't trust me or, you're not sure about our future.
Well, I think you're overthinking it.
I don't know how to explain this to you. I feel like you're not understanding what I'm saying.
I am understanding. It's not my intentions to leave you. I hope that's not your intentions.
It's not. I didn't even think about that. You're the one thinking about that.
It's just the reality of what makes sense.
Yeah, but this is not how I pictured it was gonna start.
There's no reason to cry.
I need 1 second.
Babe, you don't have to cry.
So what we have here is another woman crying that she won't have her golden parachute whenever she decides to pull the plug, and videos like this show exactly why you need them. And even though that piece of paper can turn out to be utterly useless, at least it can give you kind of a heads up on whether she's actually into you or your money. And if you present the ideas to her and she's doing all this kicking and screaming, gaslighting, and manipulation, then she's probably after something else. And when their only defense is, well, don't you trust me? In an ideal world, yeah, but we don't live there, and women agree to contracts in pencil. So the right now you, sure, I can trust, but the future you have no idea. And the real telltale sign that these people are already planning for failure is they throw in the waterworks and throw it back at you. If you were so sure that this wasn't going to fail, you have no problem signing it immediately. Because if you were so confident in the relationship, then this contract wouldn't be an issue. But it is, because you already had it in the back of your mind what you were going to do when this fails. But now that he's cutting the golden parachute, or at least poking holes in it, it's how could you and don't you trust me? me. And with over a 60% divorce rate and 80% of that initiated by the woman, it clearly shows no, we can't trust you with marriage. So don't throw in the waterworks when he wants to have a little protection on something so uncertain. So if you're thinking of getting married and you bring up the idea of a prenup and she has any reaction, something like this, it should pause and give you second thoughts on what her actual motives are, because to me, it kind of indicates that her plan is for you to not plan at all.
I have no pity at all for any fucking soldiers. Distress, thank you so much. I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers. U.S. military? Boo fucking who? I hope you get PTSD. You know? I do the ones the ones I'm like whatever about the US soldiers are the ones that like acknowledge that like what they did was wrong. They didn't know back then. Whatever. You're a good person in my book. I'm like a Tom, thank you so much for the 10 gifted. The US military that are like, yeah, like, you know, I did this back then, but now I know it's wrong, like I'm changed, like fuck imperialism, fuck this. You don't deserve the PTSD. But like any other motherfucker, you're joining them. You're like, oh my god, I want my fucking Camaro, no student loans. Fuck you. I hope you get PTSD, and I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
When everyone's wondering why guys aren't joining the military or just checking out of society in general, women like this are exactly why. When they don't care all the stuff you're sacrificing and actively hope you get all the worst things happen to you, then why would men check in for any of it? The reason men go through all that horror and strife is for their country and women. And when they're both in a feedback loop of hating you and doing everything they can do to keep you down, then why would men ever participate? And that's why we have a men crisis, because they see women like this benefiting from what they're doing, living in comfort and luxury, having the freedom to be able to stream and spew out nonsense in the world, yet in the same token complaining how they do it, and then hope the worst things happen to them. And a lot of women share this sentiment, whether they say it aloud or not, so it's really not hard to understand why men are just going a different way and not following the typical archetypes or paths that most men followed, because those roads now only lead you to a place where the state and the women you're doing it for taking everything they can from you and then hurl every slur at you while they live off the back of all that luxury you're providing. And fortunately for all these women, they're about to get exactly what they wanted and find out firsthand what all this disrespect and men hating will get them. And hopefully there's men with enough sense to not go and save them, because this is exactly what they wanted, and all these people are going to get exactly what they deserve.
In light of current events, it has come to my attention that some of you are concerned with the fact that I introduced MK to the man I was dating and that relationship is now no more. So I thought, you know what? Let's have a chat about it because I think it's important. I think it needs to be discussed. Did my former boyfriend spend time with my daughter? Yes. Has my daughter met my male friends? Yes. Has my daughter met the husbands of my girlfriends? Also yes. 3 things. She's always with me when these males are introduced in her life, and they are always introduced as mommy's friends. She doesn't call anyone dad. She has a dad. That is never a point of confusion for her. And I promise you guys, she is okay. And also, let's be real, internet dating timeline is very different from real life dating timeline. I was in a relationship where we were heading down a serious route until we weren't, and that's okay. I just hope that MK knows I am looking to find the right partner for the both of us because we are a package deal. And I know I don't always make the right decisions, but I learn from my mistakes. And every decision that I do make, it's because it's what I think is best for my daughter and I. Big part for someone who dates me is that they have to come into my world. And I know that's not easy. And I can't leave Florida. If someone comes to visit me, I can't just shove MK in the cupboard. Doesn't matter what you guys say, it's just not right. Imagine if we all listened to the judgments that other people had about our lives and based our life decisions on those judgments. I never want to live in fear of not doing what's right for me because of what other people are going to think. And I do understand that the majority of you guys are looking out for us, and I love that. Just be patient with me because this is a lot. I know my child. I know that every single decision I make is with her best interest at the forefront of my mind, and I can live with that. So, that's all.
Videos like this reek more of desperation than actually showing that you care for your kids. I get wanting everybody to meet and seeing how they engage with each other, but if you're still calling them mommy's friend, then that's obviously way too soon, and it says more about how desperate you are trying to get everything on the fast track. And you telling us all these things you're doing as a precaution, like don't worry, she doesn't call him dad, only further cements your case to us that you don't know what you're doing. And even though you say you're learning from your mistakes, you're clearly not, because you make it sound like there's a revolving door of guys coming through, that your daughter only knows them as mommy's special special friends. What example do you think that's setting for her? There's a reason why introducing your kids is one of the last steps you do in these sort of relationships, so it gets rid of any of this confusion, and we don't have all these mommy's friends running through the house or having to explain away awkward situations, especially when it sounds like you're doing nothing but internet dating, so it doesn't sound like a lot of the in-person proper vetting is taking place, which shows us yet again you don't know what you're doing when it comes to this. And instead of this video trying to show people you're taking the right steps and measures and thinking of your daughter first, it only showed us that you're not doing any of that and just inviting internet chads over to smash while you stuff your daughter in a room.
Where you going? What's going on? Huh?
Sorry, I forgot to tell you that my friend invited me out.
You forgot to tell me, huh? And I'm asleep. How you forget to tell me, huh?
Because you were sleeping, I didn't want to wake you up.
You didn't want to wake me up, huh? But I flew you out with me. Why didn't you tell me this earlier?
Don't feel like that. I was just gonna go see my friend.
That don't make no sense. It's 12:30 in the middle of the night.
Girl I haven't seen in like years.
But why didn't you tell me this earlier while we were out eating at a 5-star restaurant?
She just came up with it. Like she didn't know if she was available.
So when I go to sleep, you get up and you get dolled up. You weren't even looking like this earlier today, and now you ready to go and kick it with your friends. That don't make no sense to me. And I flew you out here.
Why do you keep saying that? Just because you flew me out here?
I'm saying that because I feel some type of way. Look at how good you're looking. You're looking fabulous.
Because like you were sleeping and we came out of town to have fun. Why?
Okay, let me see the phone then.
Why do you want to see my phone?
Because
you're not even my man to want to see my phone.
But I flew you out here
You're not
to kick it with me. I didn't fly you out here to go and kick it with your girls.
Now you want to see my phone?
Is there a problem with that?
You're not my man.
Why did you fly out with me then if I'm not? I'm not saying I'm your man. I understand that. But I'm just saying it. Do I really gotta explain myself?
I'm just gonna
no. Can I do one thing? Just let me see your phone then. Let me see your phone.
I'm not gonna let you see my phone. That's not.
Oh, you ain't gonna let me see your phone.
What these naive guys don't understand is all these women are bought and paid for. It's just because you flew her out, bought her a 5-star dinner, that doesn't qualify you for all her time. And if she's leaving in the middle of the night to go see a friend, then she obviously just views this as a sugar daddy relationship. And she was already kind of hinting that at you by not giving up her phone and telling you you ain't her man. And she's right, you're not. You're just some guy she lets buy her meals, fly her out, and buy her things. And the payment is during that time she's spending it with you. And what this guy and other guys in similar situations should do is not fight and argue about seeing the phone, because you already know what's on it. You just say okay and give me the keys or key card. Fighting about it at this point is useless. She's already made up her mind, and there's nothing now you can say or do to change it. It's really unfortunate these guys have to learn the hard way, because there's usually plenty of red flags along the way that they just ignore, and this guy proved one of them by noticing that she never dressed up for him, but only for her friend she's visiting in the middle of the night. And if you've been around long enough, you know why. Because she only views this guy as an ATM, while she pieces the rest together with other guys. And hopefully this is a wake-up call for him and other guys like him, that these girls ain't your girls and it's just your turn. Just because you buy her things or do boyfriend and girlfriend activities, that doesn't mean much to them. And unless you're some 6'4" Chad, you're just a wallet to them. And this video was a great example of it.
Is it disrespectful if your boyfriend liked other girls' bikini pictures?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Disrespectful?
Yeah. Totally disrespectful.
Okay. Do you post bikini pictures?
Oh yeah, of course.
Is that not disrespectful to him?
Wait, no.
Why is it? Why not?
No,
But why?
it's not.
Why?
Listen, it's just different.
What do you mean it's different?
It's just different. Wait, I'm female and he's male, so it's different. Because I'm a woman and he's a man, so it's different.
I'm so sorry.
What this girl means when she says it's different is that she is the one competing for all the attention, and thus less attention she's getting if you're like in other girls' butt pictures, and it opens up the potential for you leaving, meaning she'll have to work harder to keep you around. Where the other way, she gets a constant flow of attention from other guys, so if you ever start playing around or not doing what you're supposed to, she'll have a catalog of guys to choose from. And the reason why she's stumbling on her words is because she doesn't want to say the quiet part out loud, that one guy's attention isn't enough. Women nowadays need all the attention, and that's why it's okay for her to post bikini pictures and get other guys to like it, while it's not okay for him to like other girls' pictures, because she knows exactly why the other girls are doing it, for the same reason she is. But really liking it is a bit of a moot point, because you can do all the stuff you're worried about without liking a picture. Is it still weird? Sure, but the same could be said for you posting enticing pictures for other men to like, and it really shows what kind of relationship you're in. where you have to post pictures and get other men's attention, and he has to pretend like he's not looking at them. And if you're that insecure or not trusting, if he likes one of those pictures, then it sounds to me like it's already doomed. And a real easy fix for this would be, instead of posting pictures for strangers, why don't you send them to your boyfriend or husband? That way he has no time to look at others. But we all know why they don't, because they need all the attention, while they try to gatekeep and control yours.